Bueno, en primer lugar, como presidente de Irlanda, me gusta mucho estar aquí y muchas gracias por su bienvenida caliente a mí, los que trabajan conmigo. Sergio Armilo, Alto Comisionado para la Paz, Alfonso Prada, Director General de SENA, distinguished members of the Monitoring and Verification Mechanism, Pastor Alapa, Tanya Gutierrez, representative of the governor of Antioquia, alcalde de Anorí, residents of the punto de transición o normalización de Anorí, muchas gracias. Lo que es muy importante. I am deeply honored to be here today, and what I've seen in just now, and what I have heard just now about the importance of the very necessary skills which will be part not just of any personal education, but they are the tools of participation in building the wonderful possibilities that are there for once peace is secured. As I was preparing to come here, I often thought I was in Colombia 7 years ago in much more difficult times, and I remember on that occasion visiting Buenaventura, but also other areas. But what I think you have shown the world is that what people looked at a process as a conflict that had cost just over 220,000 lives, that had injured and maimed so many, that had made so many people leave their native places. It was an enormous conflict, but what has been achieved in the last 5 years has been an example to the world that people should never give up on human capacity and human intention. I think that what is taking place today, and it is un privilegio para el Presidente de Irlanda estar aquí. Why I said it is a privilege to be here is to be witnessing these very necessary steps on a journey towards not just peace, but all of the benefits that lie beyond peace. A beautiful country full of riches to be shared with all of the people of Colombia in the future in conditions of peace. I do want to say that as the Minister for Social Protection, Leo Varadkar, who accompanies me on this trip, has said, Ireland is proud to have played its own small part in relation to the peace process, but it is a participation that we intend to continue. We will continue bilaterally, and we will continue through the European Union. I do think this is something that is just so important that when you come out of a long conflict like this, as we would know in Northern Ireland, may I just say this? When the documents have been signed between the people who are at the tops of organizations, it is always a very proud ceremonial moment. But it is really only the beginning. And it is when people take the significance of what has happened into themselves, and they begin to look at their neighbors and their places and their communities and say, how much we can do together. That's how the process of peace is secured. May I tell you that I don't say this with any arrogance, because it is 20 years ago we established the Good Friday Agreement to establish peace in Northern Ireland. We have to regard that peace process always with attention. It is always fragile. Every now and again, people will resile to old memories of difference rather than seeing the opportunities of the present or the possibilities of the future. That is why, really, Ireland and Irish people who have been around the world, we don't speak about conflict in the abstract. We have a history in which it is central. But one thing I'm certain, I have to say this at a personal level. My heart fills with joy to see Colombian people coming together from different perspectives, engaging with the future, being willing to say to each other, we salute you in brotherly friendship and in cooperation for the future. I so want to wish you well with it all. I want to just say to you that you will always have the support of the people of Ireland. I speak on behalf of all of them. And something that is so important, it isn't only in this part of Colombia or in Latin America. The world that is opening up for the future generation is a world that requires a new form of literacy It is important not just simply to be able to read the laws that affect you. It is important to understand the economics that will in fact govern your lives. It is important to be able to understand the reforms that will give you security, that will create hope, that will enable you to participate in education and build the Colombia that you have all deserved. I should say to you that over the years, different delegations have come from Ireland. Some have come trade unionists visiting trade unionists. I visited 7 years ago the Pacific Coast with 4 parliamentarians. But we've been very pleased that Eamon Gilmore has been able to be available as our former Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister in Ireland to represent the European Union in Colombia. I'm nearly finished, so it doesn't matter. Thank you, Pastor. Muchas gracias, Pastor. I think that it's very important that we say, and I say to this, is that people all over the world will look back and they will say, this was a historic occasion. And I want to say to the commander of the 128 people who has completed the task here of the people for whom he has responsibility. I wish you well, and I wish all of those who are involved in education, and all of those who prepare food, and all of those who will go on to make all the necessary links with society. I wish you well. Buen suerte en todos aspectos del futuro. Y muchísimas gracias. Gracias. Wow.